it's really important that we can check that our data can get from the form, or text box, radio button, selection list, etc., onto the next page, the add record PHP web page, add members or add user, whatever this is called. This is the PHP page that is invisible when we're looking at the browser. So we've got a bit of an issue here. If we have problems with the PHP code, if we have problems, say, with the form, we have a form element name spelled incorrectly, an PHP error is going to flash up on the screen very, very momentarily, but we're not going to see it because we're going to go into our next page, which is going to be based on what is in the heading PHP command. Okay, so we got a bit of an issue. So it would be great if we could just pause the page just when we get the information in the form in the $_post PHP array, and it would be nice to just check to see if everything is working okay. The biggest problem you're going to have here is spelling the form names incorrectly. Okay, so let's look at an example. Okay, here is a web page here. Okay, here's our form here, and let's put something in here. So it's a Friday, so let's put the first name as Friday, and I'm going to leave a lot of these blank. Some of these are required, some of these are not. So we want to be in a position to check all this. So let me just shrink this a bit so we can count all of our form elements. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 form elements here. Okay, so click Submit Application. Okay, you can see I'm forced to put something here. That means none of these are required. Okay, so that's going to cause us some issues. Okay, so let's submit application and see what happens. Okay, the records here are being sorted in reverse order of ID. So we can see that that record has not gone through. Okay, we should also realize that our add record, or in this case our add members page, is not appearing here. Okay, so we have a problem here. Okay, so let's look at our code. Here's newsletter. We go to the form, you see add members. Let's look at add members. And essentially, okay, it would be nice to be able to investigate these to see what the story is here. Okay, so what we can do is we can add in this code here. Okay, if you notice, this code here has no mention of the database name, the database table name, the name of this document, the name of any file in this project. Okay, this is just generic PHP code that's going to work. And essentially, what is it saying is if $_post exists, and it's going to exist because method equals post. Okay, in the form when we click the submit button. Okay, so that's going to be true. And what are we going to do? We're going to write out a pre-formatted tag on the web page, and then we are going to print the contents, okay, of $_post if it's true. Okay, so printer will print them all out, and putting the pre and HTML special chars function, that will print them out one line at a time. So we can actually see, you know, we'll see $_post error code written, and then we'll actually see the value in there. So nice and neat. Okay, now the trick here, the key thing here is make sure this line is not active. Okay, because this line, what this line does, if you notice here, there's no HTML in here at all apart from just these pre-tags that we're just going to use. There's no HTML in here, so we go straight into show members. Okay, so all we do is we comment that line out. Okay, and let's come back and run the web page again. So we'll come back here. Just double check. Yeah, I have saved that. Okay, so when I try and insert Friday this time, okay, I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay, and the reason I'm not going to be able to, because some of these are blank. Submit application. Okay, and notice now I am stuck on the add members. Okay, the header hasn't worked. Okay, I'm stuck here, and brilliantly I see I have problems here. Okay, so I'm getting error messages here on memory type, mem type, and county. Okay, now those are a bit strange. Let's go in and look at those first in our form. Memory type, we'll just search that because it's Control F will bring this up. Where is it? Here it is here. Okay, it's a radio button. Okay, our old friends, the radio button. Okay, they can give us no end of trouble. The problem is they each have a value, but they're not required. Okay, they're not required. That's the problem there. We have hard-coded in values. They're not required. What's our other message? Other error message, undefined index county. Okay, so where's county? It's a selection list. Okay, we can see they've all got values hard-coded in. It's not required. Okay, so it's the same problem essentially that affects selection lists and radio buttons. Why those two? The reason those two is because they both have to have their values hard-coded into them. Okay, so each radio button has to have value equals something, and it should also be it should also have required. Okay, if you think about this selection list county, okay, the assumption is that every single person who's filling out this newsletter form is going to have a county associated with them. Okay, if that's not the case, then why would you have it in there in the first place? Okay, so some form elements are going to have to be required. Okay, if somebody is, say, with a county list, if somebody is living in another country, well, then you should put another option in, say, value equals not in Ireland, something like that. Okay, so you're covering all options, so every single person must pick one of these options. And similarly with the radio buttons, okay, the whole purpose of this form is to allow someone to sign up for membership to get receive a newsletter. Okay, so if they're signing up for membership, they have to be signing up for a type of membership. So they must pick one of these values. So we need to have required in here. Right, let's come back here. So notice mem type is not appearing here, and notice county is not appearing here. Okay, so here is our $_post. Here $_post is an array. Here are our array elements. Okay, so mem type and county are not in there because they are form elements whose value is hard-coded, but we haven't picked any of them, so that gives us an error. Okay, but I hear you speak. Name is empty, DOB is empty, email is empty, password is empty, house number, address 123, air code. They're all empty. Yeah, but they don't have a hard-coded value in. That's the difference between them. These are all essentially input type equals text, email, password, date, probably maybe type equals number for here. Okay, because the user has to actually type the value in there, they're not treated in the same way by $_post if they're left empty. Okay, so just be careful about that. So you can see if you add in that code in here, A, you can see what's in $_post, and B, you can see the error messages if you have a problem. Okay, if I make a spelling mistake here, okay, add 3 instead of address 3 here. Okay, so I've misspelled the name of my form elements. What is the effect of that? Okay, I can just refresh this. I'm going to leave my form value alone. I'm going to resend it. And now I'm getting a third error here. Okay, unidentified index add 3. Okay, so add 3 does not exist in the form. It's address 3. Notice that the address 3 is still coming out here. Okay, it's put out there but it doesn't have a value. Okay, so just be careful with spelling. This will tell you if you spelled the form element names incorrectly. Be very wary about that. Okay, so let's fix that, and let's run the page again. Okay, and this time let's put in more information. This is, let's call it Friday 3, and let's pick values and everything. Okay, and let's pick one of these, and just to fill stuff in here. Okay, I am going to leave county blank. Okay, and you can see when I do that, I'm still getting undefined index county. Okay, so here's all my information in. Mem type is now appearing. Okay, with information in all the others. Okay, so we still, obviously we're stuck on this page, so we haven't actually inserted the record yet, and we can't see it on show members. So let's come back, and actually this time if we pick a county, okay, in fact let's pick 2, and this time if we submit information, okay, we can see, okay, it's only picking the first one there, it's only picking Mayo, but we have a full array there, and we have no error messages. So that means then if I come back here and I now make my header active, okay, we're going to end up in show members, and show members is going to show us this new record that has just been inserted. Okay, so it will begin with Friday 3. So I'm not going to go back to the form, I'm just going to refresh this page. Okay, and we see we've come to show members. Okay, and there is Friday 3. And in fact we have inserted a few times. Okay, yes, oh yeah, sorry, what am I saying here? This will actually insert it. Sorry, I should say that. The record is inserted if there's no spelling issues, and if everything with a hard-coded value, every form element with a hard-coded value has actually been, something has been selected in there. Okay, the record is going to be inserted. Okay, you just don't get onto the next page to actually see the record. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So just be careful. This code, of course, once you're happy that all your form element, all your values are up and running, what you can do then is you can just comment that out and make sure that's not commented. Okay, so that we go straight on. Okay, because if this is still active and this is active, then you don't see this. Okay, it just flashes up momentarily. You can't even see it happening, and then this will occur straight away.